Owner first.
I like this a lot. And Pantheon is sort of the last tier 1 jungler that we do have left up and available. I think that Owner could get on something like a Wukong. There is the option of going towards a Trundle, perhaps.
Is it?
But I don't
Maokai?
like Trundle in this draft.
Maokai for Owner to try to set up
Ooh, I like that,
the team fights, try to keep HANWHA Esports at arm's length. I don't like the Maokai that much for this draft, but it is a strong pick that I'd prefer to the Trundle, for example, given what we see here. Or does he have something else in mind entirely?
What about Kha'Zix?
Kha'Zix good for blowing up these squishy targets, to be honest, and has an okay matchup into Pantheon. Will need some help. This does not help your Lucian Milio lane very much.
It is kind of the next thing on the tier list, and that is a Gwen. Okay. No idea. Likely, the Gwen is going into the top lane, has been buffed a little bit, but could theoretically be going into the jungle as well.
I don't really like either position for the Gwen here, but I think it is definitely going to be played by Doran in this game. But they can just play Gnar into it. They have such a good comp here. They can also still play Shen. It's a little tougher now with the Gwen there on the other side, but the HLE have such good power in the early game. Like, this is kind of the reverse, where they have some really strong lanes to play through. Yes, the Lucian Milio can win against the Kog'Maw Lulu, but it's not easy. It will require a lot of attention, and there's a Pantheon versus a Wukong, so we know which 3v3 we prefer. Mentioned the Kennen on his way to potentially getting 500 games tonight. It's his 5th most played here in the LCK, and he will pull it out. It's a classic counter pick here.
As quickly as possible, let's see how well T1 can play the defense, or whether HLE can just shut him down. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Under the Rift for game number 1. Zeka spotting out the fact that there is a ward placed in that mid brush, and will therefore immediately head back towards the top side. Already an early ward goes down from Faker, so he will have full information as to the whereabouts of this Syndra as he makes his way back to lane. And all quiet on Summoner's Rift for the moment. The vision that has gone down, though, going to be giving a lot of information over to both teams about where these junglers are going to be, assuming Owner is going to head towards his Raptors relatively soon.
Doran has opted for Teleport and Exhaust. You often forego the Teleport in modern League of Legends because of the role quest, but he wants to have that shield, wants to be able to have that empowered TP, so he does opt for this, but it means he will not have Flash, and that can be very scary, especially when you're dealing with all of the CC and setup that HLE have. Otherwise, I think T1 are going to have to play through sides as Keria loses half of his health bar in this matchup they opted into.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting how this lane is going to go. It's all about the W windows, obviously, for the Kog'Maw. But T1, I think, will have more flexibility when it comes to their ability to do damage, especially after they hit level 3. So the early stages can be a little bit difficult, a little bit tricky for the Lucian, but once you get access to more buttons, things can be very, very frightening, especially with the increased range the Pays can pick up from the Milio.
Guma happy to just get that shield from Delight and continue to trade. Doesn't even take barrier in this matchup, has the exhaust, which will be very useful for him in team fights later on as well into this Gwen. So just a really cool tech from him. They're controlling this lane, and that's already, you know, I said the matchup can go both ways, but they are just smashing it right now. They have full control, and you can see it's Guma's first pick of this Kog'Maw here this season, but we've seen him play it in the past to great effect.
Oh, Faker taking a lot of damage here. Zeka just needs one more orb. There's the Ghost, and Faker, he ran back to the wave that terrified probably everyone. Does get the level up and will survive, but that is a lot of summoners now blown, but nothing on Zeka's side. Now Gumushi taking a lot as Pays dashes in. Double tap not going to be enough to kill him, though, and the exhaust will be able to save the life of this Kog'Maw. Now Kanavi's moving down, but this time Owner is there in position to deny the attempted gank. I mean, Guma does need to be very careful underneath this turret. Should be able to go back home.
Need a little bit more information about what happened to Guma's health bar to fully understand why this happened, but we kind of jumped in very late because of what was happening in the mid lane there. And he gets pushed out after we were singing his praises just moments before.
Oh, Delight has to flash.
Oof.
That Pays not window shopping.
No. That will hurt a lot. I'm surprised Zeka didn't flash for the kill on the Faker as well, but the level up came through and he was like, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to secure this. He's also placed his Q really aggressively there, expecting potentially a flash or earlier ghost from Faker there. So Faker doesn't have sums, but he does survive. And so that's a good thing. As we were talking about how this matchup can be tough, and he almost got soloed.
Wow. Doran is also surviving here in this top lane as well. Zeus goes back, grabs some Boots of Lucidity. And he is very far ahead as far as farm is concerned, but Doran's alive. And that we can put into the pros column. This can be an incredibly difficult matchup early on. Cannon is pretty good at dealing with melee champions. There towards the top side. Snip, snip. But Doran is just going to finish off the wave and look for a bit of a reset, perhaps. And there it is.
Cannon recently buffed as well on this patch. So just a good choice in general here for Zeus, but like it feels like Chekhov's gun, or Chekhov's cannon in this case, with us talking about earlier in his 500 wins.
Yep.
He does pull this out here in a rare matchup because Gwen also changed and trying to see her in more play. At least that's the idea in this patch, but hasn't really been seen that much in the LCK thus far. Still very niche and has a lot of hard counters, so very difficult champion to blind. Gnar, one of the ones we saw in the past. Jace, which wasn't available because of Fearless. And he still finds himself into this Kennen. 15 CS down early, like you said. Very tough to play out.
Yeah. Gwen is often one of these response picks rather than the thing that you're actually going to go for, is Faker finding a decent exchange onto Zeka, but Kanavi just flashes on top of him. There's the unleashed power, but Faker makes it out! Just barely surviving, and obviously still not great news. But still no first blood to go over to HLE.
Yeah, it's twice he survives. Both times he will take a huge disadvantage because of it. Losing his ultimate here, much less impactful than losing both summers, but both of those summers are still down for a little bit longer. He doesn't have teleport, and so he's going to lose a large part of this wave here. And barely, just by the skin of his teeth, survives on the play. Kanavi going straight back down to the bottom lane here. If Paze and Keria try to pressure further, they will not enjoy what happens next.
Yeah, this time Owner is here as well, so he's going to move on up, gets control ward down. Kanavi already here as Gumushi in a bit of trouble. Great polymorph onto Paze to stop that play as Owner goes in. Only level 5, but Goomer is still taking a lot of damage. Paze, can you get the autos across? Oh, he gets the piercing light for the kill! And the Acathian surprise is not going to be able to do it here as somehow Owner survives for such a long time, picks up the double for Paze, and now Doran is going for an all-in on this top side. That needlework not quite connecting though, as now Zeka moving towards his bottom lane. Oh, the dash out of the way, Paze turns it into another kill! But still, Zeka is going to be able to find a lot of value here. The fire kick from Keria might have been enough, and Zeka not going to be able to close the gap on the Melio.
Follows him all the way down here as well. Crazy stuff in this early play. Owner played that bottom side gank so confidently, I guess is the best way to say it. He had his Warriors Trickster there. He's going to go all the way back to this one here. From Faker's perspective, for the Realm Orb. No worries. Last bit of damage comes through from the ultimate is not enough to take him out, but watch Owner in this play. As he wants to come over here with this pressure that they're putting on, they wait out the polymorph, and he flashes past Kanavi here to get on top of Guma. Does just enough damage here as Guma looks to turn back and offer that damage. Paze says, no, you're pushing onto that Wukong. You forgot about the Lucian. You forgot about my piercing light.
That was through and then the caster minion.
And then he goes back in here, Owner, again to set up Paze for a second kill. And then when Zeka flashes, he sidesteps it and picks up a third.
That was absolutely insane. The fact that Keria also lives is just icing on the cake here for T1. But Faker now looking for an angle towards Zeka. There's the Rune Prison for the slow. Not going to snare him here as Owner is just going to move towards his bottom lane. Take away some Raptors.
This game is still very close, and the only lead here for T1 is on the Lucian, but sometimes that's enough when it's Paze who's piloting it. We talked about, well, I really specifically mentioned several times, I don't think we'll ever see Lucian go through draft. And then he did.
I don't think it should.
And it's potentially a problem here. There are still a lot of issues here. The top side isn't fixed for T1 just yet, although those Merc Treads are going to help a lot. Faker was able to impact that bottom side play as Paze is going in again.
Yeah, looking for another angle. There is the polymorph as the culling is going to be the response. As soon as that ability goes on cooldown, you can feel free to press R. And that's exactly what Paze does. But Kuma has been farming very well. 73 CS to the 70 of FaZe. And so T1 still do need to be careful of this Kog'Maw and what he's going to be capable of.
No mana here for FaZe. Will decide to back off of this play. Used everything to try to get a larger advantage there. It doesn't really amount to too much. Guma actually takes a farm lead after catching that wave. No exhaust here for Doran. And Zeus does have Ignite and his ult, so very scary moment.
Yeah, there is the Ignite immediately as Pantheon turns up as well. Stun onto Doran, and Gwen is not immune, ladies and gentlemen.
And Faker has Realm Warp, but it's just not the same sort of impact. He can't save this play. There's no way he can react. They're the ones who are pushing the tempo. They're the ones who are leading the charge on that top side play, and the observers knew it, we knew it. Doran just couldn't realize that the engage range of that Pantheon was long enough to where he couldn't be anywhere near that cannon. Zeus didn't even have to flash for the play.
And now, T1, they do get themselves the dragon in the cross map. And Doran does have teleport to bring him back towards his top lane, but this cannon is going to become a massive problem here in this game. And
it's the AP variant. You know, it's very, very high damage when we get to the mid game. As Owner is once again trying to set up for a dive.
Oh dear, teleport is going to come through from Zeka to bring him towards his bottom lane. And so that will mean an end to that play. No dive to come on through. But getting that teleport out of Zeka, moving him out of this mid lane, is still going to be good here for T1.
Yeah, I mean, they are able to force the TP. Faker stays. You could see Faker was considering a Realm Warp to follow on the play, but he realizes, I'm Rise, they've got Scatter. This is probably just too risky with the Wukong trying to Cyclone and all that. Zeus comes in here and is able to get Doran with a tip of his ultimate. Why? Because Doran doesn't have Flash. He doesn't have to flash to follow or anything like that. Doesn't have to expend any summoners. It's the Kanavi follow-up there with the stun and the Ignite that he ticked at the very beginning of that play. That's enough damage to take Doran out without expending any summoners. Kanavi and Zeus walk away from that kill there with both up. So yes, Faker got a little bit of reprieve in the mid lane with that TP coming through from Zeka, but he hasn't picked up an advantage yet. This cannon is still a problem. We have to wonder, will this Lucian, with all the peel tools here, and the wild growth available, is this lead enough to get T1 into a third game?
Well, that is the whole point of this composition from T1, is allow FaZe to just put the team on his back, carry this one through. And it's not quite the mid-game just yet, but he is still behind a few creeps here in this lane. Does hit that first item spike first because of all those kills. As Doran not able to find the snip onto Zeus, and he's just peppering him with all this damage. It looks like it is going to be a dash cannon first here for Zeus. And that means that the lack of flash is going to be even more pronounced from Doran.
Yeah, Owner wanted to look for a flash cyclone there, but he had to be so far away because of the vision in the river to look for it. And Zeus just kind of slowly pushes up, scouts him out. So he just ended up wasting a little bit of time there, but nothing too crazy.
Yep. He's still dashing forward as Gumiishi presses W. It's going to be a lot of damage onto Keria. And there is a Pantheon waiting. Polymorph and the exhaust now down onto FaZe. Guma in trouble, but Owner is here at exactly the right time. Finds a Cyclone onto Kanavi. Gets the Aegis out and now teleport in from Zeus. He's looking for an angle and tries to get on top of FaZe. He finds him. Picks up the double with the help of the living artillery. Scatter the Weed comes down. Owner is dead. Zeus to stay alive, and Faker tries to grieve for the play, and it's just more food for the HANWHA Live Esports war machine.
Now, with the exception of that last play there from Faker, I'm watching that play looking like those HANWHA fans in the picture. That was sick. 1,500 kills for Zeus. And he might not be getting his 500th game if this game continues anything like what we have seen already. Guma picks up his Rage Blade off the back here, and all T1 get is a plate for Doran on the cross. As this is a flanking Pantheon, and they're still so confident with this Wukong here. They can force this play. Guma goes low, but he's not even really the main factor in this play. And they're like, no, we win this, we've got the advantage. Then they get outplayed massively here. Watch this wild growth setup, and then Kennen shows up. He has TP advantage. Doran can't follow. He's got massive damage here, even without his first item. And then the peel from Zeka to get him out, and then Faker triples down and dies as well.
Man, that was so beautiful from Zeus. Goes in, makes the big play, and then baits them till the very end to make sure that everyone dies.
They're all on the same page. The wild growth onto Kanavi to buy that space so Zeus can get in on the TP flank. It's just a well-oiled tank here. HLE rolling over
3,000
T1.
gold now, Wolf, for 13 minutes.
And that lead for Pays is still there, but it's so much smaller than it was.
And Gumayushi just needs a couple of items in this this Cogmore is well and truly online. Rage Blade going to be the first one that is now completed. And I don't know where it starts to feel better for T1 because it's a very different composition to what we saw last time. As now Faker is in trouble. The Unleashed Power comes in. Scatter the Weak. Should be enough space for Kanavi to come on over and get the stun. And Faker was running the wrong direction anyway, so it's another freebie here for HLE.
They didn't ban the Pantheon. They let it through. And I think they are regretting that choice now.
Kanavi's just having such an incredibly good day
It's just
here today.
year, month, whatever this period you want to choose.
yeah.
He's pretty insane.
3-1 and 5, so 100% kill contribution here as well. And now we're looking for Dragon number 2. T1 could make it double Dragon. And they're looking for Zeka, actually. He is going to be able to teleport away, though. I don't think that, not going to be able to see him. And actually teleported about 2.5 meters. That's
all he needed
enough
to
to get
do.
into safety.
It's not going to waste any time, and he can still compete for Prio on this Dragon. They're pushing mid. There's no answer. T1 are losing everywhere right now.
Yeah, Faker is now back in that mid lane, though. So it might be an honest fight, but Owner is already on this Drake. Pays is going to move on over, and Carrier is there for the support. Zeka shows up, and you can see Zeus roaming from that top side. No teleport available. Doran does have his, and now that is going to be used to bring him towards this fight. For a little bit of time, it might be a 4v5, but Zeus is getting here very, very quickly. That is going to be the secure for T1, but the scatter from Zeka is so good. Owner trying to get himself out with that Warrior Trickster, and now Faker in a lot of trouble. The Slicing Maelstrom comes in, and the Polymorph is there as well. Carrier might be able to keep him alive. Scatter doesn't actually get the stun, and the GOAT will live.
I mean, Zeka was so close to his ultimate throughout that fight. Just a few seconds away there of killing Faker, and they're so fortunate he didn't have it, or this could have been a very costly Dragon take. I would say it was not costless, but at least they were able to escape with their lives here. As Faker's looking for a flank play here as this has happened. They want to close the door here and push in with Doran, but HLE's disengage is so clean. And now Faker's isolated. Zeus gets on top of him here, doesn't have flash, but still is able to do so much damage. Watch this scatter as well here, but Faker is able to walk it off. There's no ult for that Syndra, so he does escape with his life. They have double Dragon, it's a very late one, into Mountain Soul, so there's a world where if they could stack those up, maybe it could give them a little bit of extra longevity in this game, but right now I just don't see it, especially with HLE walking out of that fight and now moving directly to Herald Prio, which will open up the map further. There's only one plate left on that mid turret.
Yeah, it's likely they can get over and siege that one out, especially with the Bioarcane Barrage here from the Cogmore. Extending that range. Zeus just goes in, looking for another angle, and there is no ulti for Carrier. He's dead, so's Pays. And yeah, that turret's gonna die.
Zeus is just like, I have flash up. You can't be anywhere that isn't underneath the turret, and even that's not safe.
Oh, good mist to be put down here by Doran. Zeka not quite able to kill him, but still
Getting
take a lot
closer.
of damage.
And I mean, they're just dropping the Herald to kill him. Kanavi's gonna have his stun ready.
Oh no, Doran could just be dead here.
I think he is.
Straight up, the Aegis comes down. Q is going to miss. He should have another one of those though, and he just doesn't have flash, so there's just no way out. And Gwen is dead, and now Zeus is going to get closed in on here as well. The flash forward, Faker tanking up the turret, and that will allow Owner to get out of there safely, so there is at least one kill back. But it's 11-4.
Yeah, and look at the top lane here. Zeka, with that kill onto Doran, is pushing this super hard, taking more plates out. We'll get the back here, but look at this flash play.
볼 수 있는데 지금.
He's looking for it. And look at the, like, they have everything. They have the Wild Growth, they have the Cogmon position. The Pantheon ultimate feels like it's totally unnecessary. Like, there's so many reasons why they're so dead. And he doesn't have it for this play, so Doran's like, maybe I'll be okay. No, he's not. He's not okay. He has to leave the turret, and he's going to lose his life anyways. Leaves just too late.
And also, Kanavi remains on 100%, so he is 11 out of 11 this game. Being able to drop into the mid lane and then immediately go top, get that kill onto Doran. Efficient use of jungle at times so far for Kanavi here in this game.
Faker has the turret aggro here, so he can just kind of walk it off, and there's no way to hold Owner there under turret.
All right, Kanavi going to look for another one here, as at least Carrier is there for the disengage. Gumayushi moves over with that Void Ooze. And it looks like T1 are going to be able to successfully make their way out, but this game is just all HLE. it's going to be so hard for T1 to make any sort of move back in. The gold lead is only extended.
Look at Faker's items right now, or the lack thereof. It's 2 stacks of Rod. Doesn't have his second item yet. Is a level behind right now, so he's really going to need that Rod of Ages to complete, but it'll take 8 minutes before it does. Thinking about Actualizer and late game scaling, that is just off the cards, and
oh dear,
just die here.
Yeah, this is the problematic part. Scatter is not going to connect. Living Artillery does, but he is still able to walk it off.
He's off the map, and this is a huge push. Like, they don't have a side laning Gwen because Doran is 0 and 2. And is unfortunately not able to move when Pantheon's ult's up. So he can clear waves, but then he has to just back repeatedly. He's not actually threatening any turrets. He's not able to do anything. Maybe in 10 minutes, if he's big enough, he can actually do damage turrets so quickly that he can make those risky calls. But Kanavi's ult is up. You can't be anywhere. When Zeus' flash is up, you can't be anywhere, as we've already learned. He went Storm Surge. He is huge. He has the dash cannon for extra gap close.
Yeah.
He has the highest damage in the game.
Zeus is a very big boy. Kanavi has the most gold in the game, which is pretty impressive. Gumayushi pretty close behind him there as well with that quest that he has. Feels like cheating just a little bit here, but the Kog'Maw being this relevant is just terrifying as well. Navori now online, doesn't have to worry about these cooldowns, and that is exactly what Kog'Maws most of the time worry about. Zeus now looking for an angle here as once again Kanavi shows up. Faker's dead. There's just nothing he can do about it. Where is the counterplay? I don't know. As Pays goes in and then goes out via the Death Chamber. As Carrier, he might be in trouble as well as the orbs just do so much damage from Zeka. Another one connects, but there is the fire kick from Carrier to at least get some level of respite.
It's a Baron on spawn against T1.
God.
T1 looking for Hail Mary plays everywhere. They force the Wukong gank topside. Bam, gets shut down, fails. They try to make the play in the mid lane with the Lucian. Gets shut down, fails, and then they just find themselves against the wall here. Backs against the wall. Baron up on spawn. 8,000 gold lead at 20 is about as high as a gold lead can get at this level in the Legend group. This is one of the most dominant games we've seen as people are dying as we go into replays.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. So I don't know whether they actually did get the kill there. As yeah, it was just Unleash Power onto the monkey. This was Kanavi destroying Faker. Not a lot of options there.
I mean, they tried to set up a gank
and the
with Owner.
Cyclone actually was used.
Yeah, and so he doesn't have it defensively in a moment, but look at this. Zeka just says no. Zeka is like a peel artist in this game on this Syndra. I mean, like, if we roll the clock back 4 years ago when Zeka won a world championship, we could never say he was good at Syndra, but in 2026, man, he's out of control.
He's looking pretty ridiculous at the moment as Faker is going to get the power unleashed upon him. And thank you for demonstrating exactly what we were talking about there,
The rare caster blessing, I guess.
Yeah, I was somehow expecting Faker to just turn that and then solo kill him somehow because caster curses are so powerful and very real, but not this time. This time HLE, it feels like they're just a little bit too far ahead as Gumayushi is just attack moving towards T1. Owner almost just dead from a few of these shots from this B Kog'Maw. And the inhibitor turret will go down. Inner in the top lane is also being softened up by Zeka as well, who deals with that one as we are talking about this. And T1, there are no options left.
Push in the top lane now. Baron buff minions still here for a minute and a half. They need so much more time than what they've got.
All right, Hail Mary play. Faker dives on in and takes the Death Realm exit. Pays is in trouble here as well, slicing Maelstrom. Pays actually survives for quite some time. And there is the Cyclone to interrupt at the same time as Zeus is going to fall. Doran's also dead. It is still a 1-5, but the fire kick onto Kanavi is so good. Pays still trying to dance around this fight, but he will eventually go down. Kanavi gets another one. That's one going over to Zeka, and it was a valiant attempt, but it's still going to be the ace, and HLE will close out this series in 2-0 fashion. Utter dominance on the eve of the playoffs.
Showing that they are by far the deserving team here.